Welcome to my Quadboot review of YSMenu from GB8 by a little gay Catboy. Okay, so we'll open it in the side, boot into this. So M3i is real, it's booting. It will boot as M3i Sakura like always. If you want to use one of the other firmwares, you'll need to boot it through the M3i Sakura. Okay, so we'll start with wood for M3. Okay, so you did. Okay, you might have a little problem when booting games in this firmware. It maybe not read the save file, so you have to go in settings. It is system settings. Okay, you go here. No, not here. Wait, let me grab the pen. I'm using one hand to hold the camera. Okay, so you have to go here, interface, not interface, file system settings, show island files, you can turn it off or on, dream ROM when copy, you can turn it on or off, save extension. This is really important if you want to the same type of file for wood M3, YSMenu, R4i Rts for M3, and M3i Sakura. Okay, save, so it is the same as the others. You can put it as save or as nds.save. Okay, we'll put it at save. Okay, save current state, yes. Okay, so let's boot into the game. Okay, it's booting. As you can see, the same rating on the top. It says it's reading the game. Pokemon Company detail. Okay, this one boots really fast into the game. Okay, so we'll start it. We don't have much time. Okay, Pokemon White version. It read the save, as I told you. Launch CG communications. So this wood for M3 has a high compatibility range. It is it's a really great firmware. It holds cheats. You can use. It's almost the same as the other ones, but it may run games that the others can't. Some games may run on one of the four firmwares, others on the others. Okay, and vice versa. Okay. So it plays good on this firmware. Okay, so let's switch firmwares. Okay, so we're booting into M3i Sakura again. Okay, so now let's boot into R4i Rts. When you boot into R4i Rts, it says loading for some seconds, really little time. Okay, so when you boot into R4i Rts, you have loading. You have a calendar on the top screen, and the 3 icon menu. Okay, so you have game, multimedia, and boot slot 2. Sorry, you choose game for playing NDS games. Okay, so we have here NDS is where I keep my games. So Pokemon White. We'll always be using Pokemon White for our review, so we can play the same game on various firmwares. Okay, so let's boot it. It's booting. R4i, as you can see there. It's booting, fast booting as the other one, as the M3. Okay, wait. Pokemon White version, as you can see. Yes. Okay. So the first thing I saw here, it may happen on other games, is that as the game is kind of new, it sometimes has a break FPS on the game when walking through certain areas, but the game is playable, no problem on that. Okay, so you can see. So let's switch again to this time to YSMenu. Okay, let's switch. Videos reels, what one it is? Okay, it's booting into M3i Sakura once again. Okay, so here YSMenu. YSMenu is a kinda good firmware. Most likely it only boots games as far as I know. Okay, so let's go into games. Okay, so here I have my list of games. Pokemon White once again. Pokemon White.ds. Here you can see DMA. I'm not real sure of what this is. Reset is for soft reset, I think. Sheets, you can load a sheets database here. You can find them on GB8temp, sheets.gb8temp.net. Okay, so here you see fix for no cache GBA. Okay, we'll boot it into it. One of the main problems I saw on this firmware by a retro game fan, the updates of course, is that it takes a lot to boot into games. This is not a hardware issue, a card issue as far as I know. It's more like of files issue on the firmware, because this firmware was supposed even to work on M3i0/M3ds real. But it boots. It takes a lot of time, but it boots. And as far as I know, taking out boot M3 between YSMenu and all the others, I think YSMenu is the best one to choose. It has a high compatibility range. I think if it's not 100%, it's 99.99. It's really good, taking out the time it takes to boot. But no FPS breaks on this game so far. We'll see it when this boots. So this is one of the main problems of the YSMenu for M3i0. I don't. That's the only part of the firmware that I don't like. But it's kind of good. It's a really good firmware. As you can see, it's still loading. I don't know why, but it takes a lot of time. Okay, so it's booting. Pokemon White version Nintendo, it's still booting. As you can see here, the last save time. Okay. So this is last version by a retro game fan. 6.55. Okay, so it booted finally. Finally you got to boot it. Okay, so let's see. So Game Freak, as you can see here. Okay. Now Pokemon White version. The first thing we have to talk about is it used the same type of files for saving games as the other 4 firmwares. This is a great advantage, because if in some area you can't play with certain firmware, you can try another one for the AP measures to see if it plays, and the save file is the same. Okay, so let's see your communications. So as I was telling you, this game so far I haven't got any FPS breaks using YSMenu. So it plays really soft with a high FPS range. And we'll now try. We have to see M3 Sakura yet. But for me, if the boot was faster, this was the perfect one to use a lot of time. But the other ones are good too. Okay, so let's switch again. So we booted into the M3 Sakura, and we'll be playing the game through M3 Sakura this time. Okay, so we're already on the folder Pokemon White A and yet. Okay, on M3 Sakura we have variety of options: game global setting, arquivo de sheet. My M3i0 is in Portuguese. It means sheet files, select sheets, save RTS, link NDS to GBA. Okay, these are the options. Okay, we want this boot. Okay, initialize boot on English. Okay, so the game is booting. A fast boot, as you can see. Pokemon Company, Nintendo. So here we go. Pokemon White version. Okay, so I'll be zooming in so we can. Okay, it loads the same save file as the other ones, as I told you. Okay. Yes. Okay. So now here we are in the game. M3 Sakura as R4i Rts gives some breaks on FPS sometimes when walking through certain areas. It's random areas, really. It's like a compatibility with the game. Yes, M3 is better on that, but we're only testing on Pokemon White. So as you can see, it's really good. Okay, so we can close this. Okay, now I'll show you. The one man we have to thank is this. I will not cry. It's a little Catboy on gb8cm.com.net. Sorry. So this was it, and thanks for watching, and hold for more reviews.